What's up? What's up? We got a lot to talk about. So I'm gonna wait for a second to make sure you guys are in here, can hear me. I see you flowing in already. I appreciate you being here. I want to talk about something that is very, very crucial for any of you all who own XRP. I do want to share a little bit about XRP. I want to share a little bit about XRP and the ETFs that I think a lot of people are missing. And I want to give some clarity because I am here to educate my community and make sure that you guys kind of know uh, what it is that you're doing, what you hold, how it's evolving, and just understanding the fundamentals behind it. Now, if anybody was here, I just did a live a couple of weeks ago, and sorry, I'm getting my monitor over here together because I want to be able to see some of the comments on the monitor as well. But this is why, hey Lisa, this is why I talk to you guys so much about panic selling. Y'all see the price of XRP. And it doesn't, I'm not saying this is gonna go crazy or anything. I don't know. But what I do know is I kept saying that people should, if they are going to panic sell, at least sell off of a bounce. Okay. At least sell off of a bounce. Some of these cryptocurrencies were in oversold territory, which means there is a direct correlation between, hey, this is about to go up. You know what I mean? Just because it's oversold on the RSI. And if you know a little bit about basic charting, you will not panic sell at the bottom. Okay. And I'm not saying it went to the bottom. I'm just saying it was very oversold. So we already knew that some of the prices would bounce a little bit based off of the charts alone. Now, I know there are some things that happen that is beyond the charts. Okay. Like news events and things like that. But I'm going to just talk to you and give you some updates on what is happening with XRP, some of the cryptocurrencies, and got something real special for my members. Hey, Black Queen, Tiffany, what's up? Foxy Jetta, hey, y'all from Arkansas, what's up? I see you in the community and I appreciate it. This is going to be good. And I guarantee you for my members, this is going to be real good. What's up? Good to see you again. Always and pleasure. Yeah. XRP supply shock in 6 months. Yeah. So, and I'll be talking about that. Hey, from Maryland. So I'm going to be talking about that. So I do want to, let me see where XRP is right now. From Washington, DC. What's up? What's up? All right. So at the time of me speaking at this moment, XRP is $2.24. I think it went to 228 as a high today. Hey, from New Jersey, Tiffany, what's up? I got to remember that you're from New Jersey. Okay, Houston, Texas is in the house. Here is what I want to say. We just experienced the fear and index greed hitting even single digits, which has never happened. Do y'all understand? This has never happened in the history of digital currency, which means people are afraid and have been. What's up, George? Barbados, what's up? Nice. And so yeah, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear in the market. And I just want to slow you down just for a minute and just say this when it comes to emotional buying, because emotional or not emotional buying, emotional selling, but people will be emotionally buying, fear of missing out. Why you can't get a fractional share anymore on. Okay, so the question is, I would like to know why you can't get fractional share anymore on Robinhood. Fractional share of any coins? Are you talking about one in specific? I'll get to some of the questions. I'm going to get through this content first. That means people are being squeezed out. Good for us. Yeah. So yeah, I just bought XRP last week, several days ago at 183, 181, and we back up to over 220. And again, I a lot of things is moving the charts that's beyond our control. Okay. So I'm not telling you where the price is going at this moment, but what I'm saying is, like, for somebody to have sold to me, first of all, somebody probably bought it somewhere over $3, then panic sale because that's just what happens, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this for everybody, but that's just what happens. Then it jumps back up. I mean, I know some people are like, oh man, maybe I should have just waited to Monday, These ETFs will help in the supply shock. Loving it. Yeah, and I want to give a little yes, supply shock, but I want to give my full take on it, okay? Because I'll share with you what's on my mind about XRP, and I'm trying to gather a full scope of it so that I'm not super biased on either side. You know what I mean? So again, 2 ETFs did launch today. And let me just say this for the sense of RSI was, look, this is actually very true. RSI was the lowest since 2022. So I knew we weren't going in a bear market. Also, markets didn't top on fear, they top on euphoria. And just understand, guys, if you're in very, very extreme low RSI, you know what I mean? You're gonna get some kind of bounce. So even if you are gonna sell, wait for the bounce. Okay. Um, Here's what you got to understand on your investing journey. You need a reason to buy and you need a reason to sell. Okay. You can you need and in order to structure that right, you really need a good framework, you need levels, and you need conviction. You need to know why you're in position and when it actually makes sense to change that position. If the only reason that you're exiting is I got scared, that is not a financial plan. It's reacting. Okay. And reacting in these markets are going to cost you a whole lot. Okay. So just pay attention to that. Forbes article just predicted a 60K XRP. Well, hey, I hope they right. That's all I can say. I hope they right. Yes. Um, and honestly, it's about when these price points will happen. And that's why I want to share with you about the ETF and these types of price points. Now, first of all, I do want to say, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just sharing with you the things that I'm learning. I'm researching. I'm not telling you what to buy, hold, or sell. Everything I say is for educational purposes only. Talk to your financial advisor about your portfolio and what you should do. Okay. Now, I do want, hey, Aura, I want my BlackRock next. I'm waiting on BlackRock. I want my community to be as educated as possible. And I'm going to just tell you right now, I don't have all the answers. Nobody does, but I do a whole lot of research and I want to share what I'm learning with you so that you can make better decisions. Okay. That's what I'm here for. Now, if you are a part of the membership, thank you for being here, first of all. And I got something real special for you. Because I have something like after this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a session just for the members where I am sharing a utility coin that I believe is going to be huge in the future. This is something I have never talked about publicly, never, ever. Okay. And most of you all probably don't even know what the coin is, but it's a major part of my future portfolio. And I have been quietly doing research on it for a while now, just like I've been doing with XRP for years. So if you are a member, make sure that you check that out right after this because I'm going to be with you. And if you're not a member, then the join button is next to the video. It's only $3.99 a month. Some, if you're an Android user, I think it's a little less. And you'll get access to these deeper breakdowns and that I'm not going to do publicly. But again, I want to share that. And I've never talked about this before. And I'm going to explain to you why I'm in this utility coin and what the future looks like for it. Okay. I'm excited about it. And I hope you're going to be excited about it too. That's going to happen right after this. Now let's talk about the ETFs. Okay. George, you may know about it. A lot of people don't, though. Most people want the average person. I mean, the average person don't really know about XRP. We all think we do because we all in this community together. But hit that like button, guys. But if you talk to the average person, they don't know about this stuff. Okay. I'm going all in midnight when it comes out in December. I'm not going to call that up, but it would be, yeah. So they talked a little bit about Vcash. But no, it's not any of the stuff that you guys are talking about, but I'll share it in my members group. All right. So 2 ETFs. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You will hear about this coin, and I'm going to prove to you why it's something that I think you should pay attention to for sure. Always do your own due diligence. Again, I'm not here as your financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I'm doing, and this is not only for educational purposes only. Now, the 2 ETFs that came out today, Grayscale and Franklin Templeton. Okay, so and that alone is a huge signal. They're not small players. Okay. These are major institutions that are stepping into XRP's ecosystem. All right. So what's up, Derek? I'm going to see you after this. We're going to have some fun. All right. And so now listen here. An ETF, it doesn't magically make the price explode on its own. I want to be very clear about this so we can, I want you to reroute and understand what the ETFs are for and not. Okay. What it does is it opens the door for a different type of investor. So these are people who might want exposure to XRP without holding the asset themselves. But even with that, look how the market reacted. Of course, XRP did run up to the $2.28 as a high. It's coming back down a little bit. It's cooling off a little bit. I'm not telling you where it's going. It's, that's a nice little move. And when I say, like I said, it's about a 25% move that it from the low and from the high that I think it had just last week. Okay, I think it hit 180s or something like that, and then up to 228 as a high. So again, I'm not telling you where it's going, but I just want to kind of talk about a little bit of what's happening with XRP, with the ETFs, and how it plays part of a role, but not a huge role into the overall story. Now, we also got, I want to add this too, we also got accumulation happening. Okay, so this is accumulation. Hey, Black Queen, this is accumulation you guys are not going to see because it's on OTC, over the counter, and dark pool. Okay, they have been, it's showing that they bought about 700 million. Okay, and so I don't want to assume that you know what over the counter is. Okay, over the counter, for those who don't know, is private buying between large players. Okay, so they're not on the exchanges and it's not public. It's not on the order books or anything like that. Okay, so it just means that big investors like the institutions, the funds, the high net worth individuals or buyers or whatever, they're buying XRP privately. Okay, and so this is a very quick way to explain it. Private purchases, just that simple. Okay, I love that. And then, so again, they don't buy on Coinbase and Binance and stuff like that. Okay, or to, with regular retail. Now, dark pool, again, very, very simple, because I don't want it to sound complicated. It's just hidden market for institutions. Okay, so a dark pool is basically a hidden order book where institutions trade between each other privately. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so I don't want to assume that you know what that means. Okay, and if you want to track what's going on with XRP just in general with these ETFs, go to etf.xpmarket.com. etf.xpmarket.com. The site is going to give you like ETF data, volume flows, market open activity, all of it, everything that you need without relying on the rumors and stuff like that. So check it out for yourself. Okay, so, but let me just help you with the part that people are confused about. And this is what I'm here for. Hit that like button for me, please, because you are going to be educated, especially if you hold XRP. I get a lot of people who are like, should I buy the ETF? Should I buy the XRP? I'm going to help you to understand which one you should buy. And hey, you can expose yourself to all. I did about one. I think I bought one Canary Capital. I haven't even bought Bitwise yet, just for the sake of celebrating it. Hey, Kimberly. But anyway, I want you to know the difference between ETF activity and actual XRP ETFs. Finally caught one of your lives. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much, and I appreciate the generosity, and I won't stop. Hey, from London. All right. So there's a difference between ETF activity and actual XRP utility. Hey, Stevie J. Because people are celebrating the ETF launches. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean XRP about to go to the moon. Okay, and I just want to slow down and help you understand what's really happening, so you don't get your hopes up high for the wrong reason. Get your hopes up high. I'm ready. I'm ready to blast off. Okay. But when you buy XRP directly, whether you're on an exchange or it's in a wallet, you're buying something that can eventually be used in the real world. I want you to hear me. It can move, it can settle payments, it can flow through XRP Ledger, it can connect with ODL, that's on-demand liquidity, okay? And it's part of the actual plumbing for the new financial system. Supply shock is a great step, though. It is, and it's part, like kind of like indirectly, okay? But when you buy hear me out, when you buy an ETF, you're not buying into that, technically. You are buying, so I can help you to clarify, you are buying exposure to the price. All right, Stevie J, what's up? We're going to talk about this, the new utility coin that I want to share about after this. You are buying the exposure. When you're doing the ETF, you're buying the exposure to the price, not necessarily participating in the system. Okay. Now, That does not mean ETFs are bad. You know, I actually have some ETFs for Bitcoin, but it doesn't mean the XRP ETFs are bad at all. Actually, they're good. They're going to be very great for the average person. But for those who hold XRP, I need you to understand what you hold and to do your research. Okay. Now, XRP has its place, and let me help you to understand where it has its place. It makes it easier for traditional investors to get exposed. That's great because it reduces the circulating supply. Okay, because those are XRP units that get locked up. That's great. I love it. And then they can create, of course, short-term upward pressure, as we even saw today, right? But I think it was more than that. You know, the Fed is getting dovish again. Okay, they take us through circles. I don't know why. Right. So it looks like we may now, according to news outlets, be getting more cuts. Okay. That brings more liquidity back in. So they be playing games. But anyway, it also, the ETFs also give crypto more legitimacy. Okay. In the traditional world, being able to buy XRP directly time is ending. Yeah. Yeah. And that might be possible. There may be a time where you may not be able to buy it. You might be only got ETFs left. Okay. So, but again, nothing wrong with ETFs. I just want to recenter you and help you to understand the difference, because a lot of people ask, well, what's the difference? Should I buy this? Should I buy that? But I want you to understand their role so that you know what to expect. Because long term, hear me out, XRP's real value doesn't come from sitting in a vault. That's what a ETF does. It comes from movement. Okay. So the feds are also going to stop QT. Quantitative tightening. They're going to stop tightening on December 1st. Okay. So so long term, again, long term is where the real if we're looking at the real value of long term, it has to come from XRP's movement. And that's the whole point of XRP. I personally like spot buys. Yeah. Hold on one second. Yeah. Spot buys for of the actual asset, and you got 500 trillion coming through. XRP Rail's price will be out of this world. Absolutely. I believe that. But XRP is designed, it's a bridge asset. So it's designed to be liquid, to be fast and flowing between institutions. Okay. Right. So think of it like this. Okay. So I can help you to understand this. If you put water in a bottle and you seal the bottle up, okay, it's still water, but it still can't irrigate a field, for growth. It can't fill a river. It can't. Why? Because it's bottled up, right? It can't run through a pipe, right? So it's just still sitting there. Okay, it's locked up. It's reserved. That's what ETF custody does. Okay, it does again lock up some of the supply, but it bottles up XRP. And if you're talking about short-term market moves, then bottling up XRP can create some scarcity and give you a nice pop in price. It can give you some a nice pop. Okay. All right. I love this. Let me share this for a minute. Okay. It'll give you a nice pop, right? But when you start talking about bigger numbers, okay, so we're talking about bigger numbers. When we start going to the 4-digit, like what somebody mentioned, possibly 60,000 or, 4 or 5 digits or whatever, the future, whatever that holds. Okay. I'm not giving price points here, but when you start talking about the bigger numbers, meaning we're at the point where XRP can finally do what it's really meant to do. That does not come with bottling up XRP. That comes from utility, from the actual usage of XRP. Okay. And I just want you to know it's not because I love that they, got the XRP and stuff like that, but it's a short-term thing, but it's not, it actually kind of works against the long-term picture in a sense. See, banks, you got to understand, like XRP is for banks moving money, institutions settling cross-border payments. Okay. And BTC has no utility. And this is a very correct statement. Okay. So you got liquidity corridors forming around the entire world and tokenization flowing from the ledger and through the ledger. So here's the balanced way I want you to look at it. ETFs are good for exposure. Utility is good for value. Okay. These are two different lanes, two different timelines. These are two different engines. I need you to know that, just because, again, that's the question that's being asked. And I want y'all to be educated. Don't get me wrong. I think ETFs will definitely bring new eyes to XRP. They're going to create excitement. They're going to get people curious. I love that. They're going to reduce some of the circulating supply. I love that. But long-term movement, when we're talking about the real use case for XRP, the kind of movement that make you look back and say, man, I'm happy I held this coin. That's not going to come from ETFs directly. That's coming from utility. So I don't want you to confuse the two. Be excited about the ETF, absolutely, but don't treat it like it's the final destination, because it's not. The real destination is XRPL. It's actually being used at the scale it was meant for. It wasn't meant for us, y'all. It was meant for big institutions, okay? So right now we're invested in the tools, we're investing in the infrastructure, and we're investing in the rails, okay? I'm investing in XRP because of the utility. Okay, so there is a difference. Now, again, for your traditional people, the ETFs are going to be very, very good. Value will constantly move across the blockchain through tokenization, and every movement of said value is considered a transaction utilizing the token as a gas fee. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the utilization. It was meant to move money fast, y'all, between the big dogs, okay, the big institutions, right? So that is, once it's in its full, and it has to be at a large price in order to do that well. It'll never do that well if it stays at a low price, okay? When will the price rise? I'm not here to tell you that, but I'm telling you, when it is at full function in its utility, you are going to see a price movement that most people are not even probably ready for. Okay. And I'm not giving you the time limit on this. I'm just saying, hey, any utility coin that you hold, just think about the future. We're not trying to make a buck tomorrow. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get some small little profits at some point on your way up if you got enough of it. You know what I'm saying? I know I got some small take profit areas, but my future XRP, I know where this is going. Okay. All right. So we literally hold the full mechanism of the new financial system. That's the whole point, you know. And I don't know at some point if it's going to become very scarce for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the sense of like, we can't even invest in it anymore. We don't know what that's going to look like. And so right now, even if, man, it's a steal to buy it under $2 for sure. I still got limit orders at like $1.50 something cents up to $1.60 something cents. I bought it $1.80. Yeah, but if you're thinking long term, if I didn't have a lot of XRP, I'd be buying it at this price. If I'm thinking long term, because this isn't for tomorrow. If I'm thinking long term, this is a good price. Do you think people cared about buying Bitcoin at $5 if they were holding it long term? They didn't care, right? So I personally think it's still a good buy, even around the $2 level. Okay. Now, before hit that like button for me if you have not already. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm going to continue to give you the information that really helps you to understand what it is that you're holding, because a lot of people don't even, like, a lot of people are listening to like, oh, to ETFs, it's great. And it is. But a lot of people don't even know that there's a difference between the ETFs and the actual coin, the spot XRP. And so this information can actually help you wonder, do I want to hold the actual spot coin, or do I want to do the ETFs? If you just want hands off and you're just not like really going to be invested in this financial journey, and you're working a job and you just like, I just want exposure, there's just some people that the ETF is going to be good for. Again, traditional financial system, have at it. That's great. As for me, I want to hold the actual coin. I want the utility. I'm participating in the infrastructure. Okay. Now, a lot of you all do know I've been very vocal about XRP because of the utility, as I'm sharing with you today, and the conviction that I've had for years. And you need your own conviction. Okay. It will be to a point where the supply dries up and it becomes scarce. I'll be lending, staking. Yeah, a lot of people will be lending, staking, borrowing against assets, never selling again. And guess what? Do you know how many people are never selling XRP? That's why it's going to become so scarce. And the XRP do lock up some of that. You know what I mean? So, but there's a whole army. Like, it's some people that's like, I'm never, ever selling. Never. I will only be borrowing against, lending, staking, getting yield. So I'm telling you, what you see now, like, yeah. And with the ETF flows and stuff, again, it's going to become a little bit, some of that stuff is going to be held. Okay. And then the over the counter, the dark pools, all of that. Okay. So you see, there's people who will never sell. Okay. So you got to think about that. Okay. Now, again, I've been public about XRP and everything, but I haven't really talked. There's something I haven't really talked about. And I've been looking at it the same way I did XRP years ago. All right. Uh, it's the same things, but there are two other coins that I'm just as convicted about as I was with, again, XRP years ago. One of them I've talked about, and I'll share that because they all play a role together. Okay, but I've never talked about this one publicly, and most people don't even know exists. Okay, so and the reason why I haven't shared it yet is because I didn't want it to become one of those things where somebody heard it on YouTube, now they going to buy it and gamble and all of that other stuff. This one deserves a real explanation. And it deserves to be shared, the purpose behind it, the utility, the timing, the use case, why it caught my attention, and why I've been quietly loading up on it on the side. You know what I'm saying? So it's not something I just want to throw out because I know how people I bought this because you bought it, and they have no understanding of it. And so that's why I do want to break it down in my members only group, because I want to explain it slowly, clearly, and very responsibly without rushing through it or having people misunderstand what I'm saying. So I'm going to be talking about that a little bit more in a session. Also, I'm going to talk about why the way I'm structuring my long-term portfolio, how my thoughts even on custodial accounts versus cold storage and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm going to be sharing some of that. So if you want those deeper breakdowns, if you want more clarity and more conversation, yeah, make sure you just join, hit that join button. It's the membership, $3.99, and you can cancel it anytime. Okay. It supports the channel too. It really, that's what it does, is it supports the channel, and it's my way of saying thank you so much for supporting the channel. And it gives you that safe space to ask questions and grow at the same time, because I do a lot of Q&A on my membership. Okay. So at the end of the day, I just want you guys to understand, make sure you hit that like button. If you have not already, if you on here, you haven't hit the like button, just please do me a favor and do that. It helps the video, it helps YouTube to send it out. But at the end of the day, all of this, the ETFs, the price action, the fear, the utility, none of it, you don't want to be chasing quick hits, y'all. Y'all got to understand the conviction behind this. Like I said, to sell XRP at $1.81, and then 3 days later it's up to $2.28. I know some people have to be like kicking themselves in the butt. Like, we got to understand how to build a strategy, build your confidence, I want you to build education so that you're not here like moving like the masses. Okay. And one of the things in our, actually, if you want deeper access to me and our coaching group, our community, I'll help you move with wisdom and with accountability in there. I'm there to coach you through your portfolio, and you'll have access to me through live sessions. That is in the description. The link is in the description. That is our community. So if you want to understand the markets beyond what I can actually explain to you publicly, then join that community, because that's where we're going to structure your entire life so that you can move in this new financial era with clarity, with direction, and without chaos. That's what we do. Okay. So, yeah, so that's why you'll never sell. Yeah, and so we got, like I said, we did talk about the 2 ETFs coming out. It's frustrating watching people putting all their money into meme coins because of TikTok. Yeah, rather than buying utility. And most of these coins, guys, are gonna go to zero. You know what I'm saying? So unless you have a real utility coin with a real use case scenario, it's gonna be, yeah, people will make a little money here and there, but at some point they're going down. Okay. So so when I say we will see if $50, I would be ecstatic if we could get a $50 XRP. I just needed to get to $5 to $7 first. You know what I mean? Let's go. We still got the, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot still happening for this year. So anything is possible. I'm not here again to give you a price prediction. As we see, there's just so many things. There's so many things that have to happen for the price point to be where we really want them to be. And the question is, will those things happen? It's not will the price get there. It's will those things happen? Because when those things happen, that's when we can get the price point where we need it to be. All right. Thanks so much, Mariah. I will be on after. And I'm about to actually transition now. And somebody said, tried to get my buddy to get some XRP yesterday. He totally rejected the idea. And you know what? When he goes to those large numbers, you make sure you pull your phone up and show him the price of it, of what he missed. Like, Thank you so much. You became a YouTube member. I love it. I love to see it. I love to see it. I hope I didn't miss anybody. All right. All right. Yeah, I got my right. Yeah. Sometimes friends and families will not listen. And those people need maybe the ETF. Maybe if you can get them, push them to the ETF, hey, because they trust the brokerage account or whatever that looks like, and they're not listening to you. But guess what? Most people going to be spending their money on Black Friday. Most people going to be spending thousands of dollars eating turkey on Thanksgiving. But nobody wants to take a little bit of that money and throw it into an asset. Like, it's insane. It's insane. And this is one of the last, I mean, we are getting into a time where the opportunity is becoming, the door is closing. Like, it really is. You know what I'm saying? Because people are trying to work harder and harder and getting paid less and less. And their money is not going as far as it used to go. Okay. Because of the inflation. So people are going to have a hard time if they're not investing in these assets. Right. And so, I try to sound the alarm, but I'm telling you, most people, their mindset is not in the right place. That's why I really do try to hit mindset, because most people don't have a mindset. They all wrapped up in the philosophies and the culture and what everybody else is doing, and they don't know how to pull themselves out. They don't even know how to pull themselves out of spending money on stupid stuff, liabilities. I keep saying this: people will rather look rich than be rich. Okay, I'd rather be rich. I'd rather sleep good at night. There's so much we haven't talked about, guys. There's so much that we have to do with our money. We need to get into physical assets, silver and gold and precious metals and stuff. There's so much we need to do, our LLCs, and like there's so much to this game plan. And if you can't even start with a simple principle, like stop spending all your money on stupid liabilities that's not getting you anywhere other than a bunch of likes. Oh, I like that new purse you got on. I like them new shoes. Oh, look at them shades you got on. Like, this is stupid. We're spending our money on stupid stuff. All in the meanwhile, we got these assets that done pull back, that's on sale. We even in the stock market. I mean, we had pullbacks and stuff, and nobody's able to have any dry powder because they're spending their money on entertainment and buying a bunch of food and buying a bunch of clothes and hopping, skipping, jumping around everywhere, going nowhere. And I mean, people are really happy with having nothing at the end of the day. If you happy with your new product purse and your new, red bottom shoes and your new clothes and stuff, and you have nothing, well, good for you. Good for you. But I mean, good for you. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody saying, "Oh, look at that nice purse." Okay, good for you. Right? But to everybody else who want to build their financial future and sleep in peace and not have to wind up in a dark place, you know what I'm saying, begging somebody for help because you didn't do your money right. Like, we have got to prepare. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I was too skeptical about crypto. Then I joined Crypto University and gained knowledge about it. That's good. I mean, because we got to get educated. So look, this person got educated, right? We need education, and that's what helps. And it's if you don't, let me say this. I love that you guys are here in this community, because it just blesses me. It really does, that you want to be here and you want to learn and you want to understand and you want to grow. It blesses me, because I'm going to tell you, and this is your way of investing in yourself. In a sense, you're investing your time. I don't take this lightly that you're even here with me. You know what I'm saying? You're investing your time here on this channel with me and walking through the growth and the education and just the research, all of it. You know what I'm saying? Anything that I have to give, again, I try to do my best with my research and just try to, I don't have all the answers, but again, I'm sharing what I do have. Okay. To each person, they share what they have. Right. And so, but I say that is such a good thing for you, for your life, for your growth, for your development, for your future, because there's a lot of people who will not take the time to invest in themselves. Right. You can hear it in the conversation. You can hear it in the pushback. Just like the guy said, I tried to tell my friend about it and they didn't want to hear it. You know what? Hey, sometimes it's difficult. You know what I'm saying? And you have to move on to a community of people who have the same values as you do. Okay. So, or around people who have the same values. Right. So, it's difficult, but you guys are putting in the work, and, continue to do that. Continue to invest in you. I'm telling you, you're going to be far ahead of the average person. The average person has no clue what's even going on right now, because they're shopping on Amazon all day and they're watching Netflix and they're Uber eating and spending all their money on stuff. Okay. And I ain't nothing wrong with spending your money and having a good time. We all like to do that. Okay. We do. But if you're doing that, like I just shared with one of my group, I said, listen, if y'all about to spend $1,000 on Thanksgiving and you don't have an emergency fund, why don't you just cut about $300 off that budget and put it in an emergency fund? Like, come on, it's just that simple. This is not hard, y'all. But if you're just tied up with the waking up to doing the same thing every day, which is spending, and you all in the midst of the traditions and the culture and all of that, then guess what? This holiday season, all you're gonna do is spend $1,000 on a turkey. You're gonna shop for Black Friday, buying a bunch of unnecessary stuff, and then you're gonna spend buku amounts of money on Christmas just to put on your Instagram so that people can give you a like. We Y'all, I can't do nothing but tell the truth. We got to get out of this. We got to get out of this. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. I'm about to hop on. Thank you so much. I'm about to hop on with my members. So if you are not signed up already, go ahead, hit that join button. You can cancel at any time, but I'm about to share a major play that I have been building and working on. And it's going to be very, very valuable for you. And I think you're going to want to learn a little bit about this. All right. Nobody gonna see what you're doing, but they'll be there to beg. You got that right. They're gonna be right there to just begging away. All right. And I keep telling y'all, some of y'all gonna have to help them. All right. But make sure it's on your terms and not theirs. Right. No, it's not XCM. I do hold some XCM, but it's not XCM. Like I said, I've never talked about it. I've talked about XCM. All right, guys. I will see you guys in a few minutes for my members. Thank you so much for becoming a new member, for all of you all who joined. All right, family, stay consistent, stay educated, and keep surrounding yourself with people who are moving in the right direction. I'll see y'all in the next one. And for those who joined the membership and who already joined, I'm going to see you inside. All right. See you guys. Love you guys.